Yeah.
Show me this camera for
Tonight we break out of the cage. Turn it loose, turn up the rage. We're gonna hit you now like the speed of light, then blow it up like dynamite. We shout it out, we let it rock. We scream it out, we let it rock, let it rock. We shout it out, we let it rock. We scream and shout, we let it rock. Rock, 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 rock.
Jay, put the phone down. We're on the air.
Technology. Rockin' Inc. MC live. You know, I get stuck up on the phone all the time, you know, and iPad and all this stuff. Rockin' Inc. here in New York. It's chilly. It's raining. What went on this week? I had a pretty good week. Wednesday night, I went to the Emporium. I went to see Saliva, a band that I always liked, and I didn't realize this, but they have a new singer. They did a great job. The band was good. They were tight. I really liked it. It was a good job by the guy. I think it's hard for a lead singer to join a band that has albums and hits out and try to do a great job, but the guy definitely did a great job. I don't remember his name, but it was a good show, and that was at the Emporium Wednesday night. Friday night, I went to 89 North, and I got to see two of my buddies' bands. New Life Crisis, Paul, he was on my show once before, and Billboard Live, and that was with Rodney. He's been on the show also. And what I liked about the show, each band did two sets, and they set their equipment up together on the stage. So New Life Crisis did their set, and when they were done, their last song, Billboard came on and joined them in the song, and then New Life Crisis walked on as the song was playing, and they just continued. So the music didn't stop for four sets. It was great. I mean, it's like if it was going to be done, it was done that night, and it was done right. And it was really great. I enjoyed it. And then Saturday and Sunday, I just chilled out. But anyway, tonight, my model spotlight is Michelle Lee. She's from Fresno, California. And my Reverb Nation feature tonight is Ray Ray Star, and they're from North Hollywood in California. And tonight's show, I'm sitting back a little, and my show is about technology. You know, technology is taking over the world. It's taking over us. It's taking over our lives. Things just aren't the same. I remember 20 years ago, 30 years ago, what I did to do things and the way we do it now, how different it is. So I'm going to try to basically show everybody what I see out there. And I've grabbed a lot of great videos showing where the technology was and where it has gone and where it's going in the future. And you will not believe how it's leaped. Just year after year, it's just flying. It's flying up, you know. So what I want to do also, before I get to that, I want to talk about my December 7th event. And I'm going to have the flyer there. December 7th, I'm going to be at Revolution. It's going to be a Rockin' Inc. Madhouse event. It's going to have, I'm going to have three bands. I'm going to have Mickey James. I'm going to have Tang. I'm going to have, what's the other band? I just booked the other band. Don't remember off the top of my head, but I also have a bunch of things going on. I'll talk a little about it a little bit more. I really want to get this going, but tickets are on sale, $12 in advance, $15 at the door. Get tickets. I have a lot going. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's starting at 5 o'clock, but that's the event, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. But let's talk about technology and how it's changed the world. It's changed our lives, where it's heading in the future, and I'm going to show you some interesting things about technology tonight. That's what I'm really going to do. And right now, where I want to go with my first video here. This is 20 ways technology has already changed the world. We're talking about communication, reading, doing math, entertainment, paying for things, status updates, communication, research, games, shopping, performing, traveling, photography. Just a nice quick video showing the digital side and the analog side, where it's gone from and where it's gone to. So let's go to my first video.
Here I am, just a lonely Cheeto on a hot summer's day. What could possibly go wrong?
I'm gonna eat you!
No, not again! Not if I can stop. One more. Mario, he saved me. I know.
I just took a shower. You just took a shower.
Hey! You think I could borrow some eggs? Sure. Alright.
Oh, I like that, Casey. It looks cute. Here's the second dress I chose. I don't know about that one. I think I like the other one better.
Never good enough when I don't care. I can play him like a Keno. Won't wash my hair.
Turn left to Merton Drive.
That is so cool, Casey. And I'm still working on mine, but it's really ugly.
And I also showed you how you can use the split short key to do jump cuts very easily just by looking at the audio waves and cutting out the silence.
Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing how things change, right? I remember in school, I took typing on a typewriter, and now we don't even go that route, right? And then I was having conversations here with Tommy, and we were talking about, I didn't even realize it. They don't even really teach kids how to write in script anymore in school, right? Pretty soon, we're not going to know how to write. Kids are not going to know how to pick up a pen and write. Everything by type and text it in, right? So anyway, that basically showed you, where things were and where things have gone. And I'm going to go a little further. I'm going to start showing you where things are right now and where are they going to go. All right, so right now, I have another video I'm going to show. There's an online company called Cold Fusion TV. Very, very educational. I'll tell you right now, when you see this, go to their site and check out some of the other stuff they have. But I have a few videos from them. But this one I'm going to show is 5 mind-blowing facts about your cell phones, right? The cell phone is unbelievable what this little thing does. I mean, in 1946 was the first computer that was built. It did 385 calculations in 1 second. Our cell phones, and this is a little dated, from 2013, a cell phone does 28 billion calculations in a second. So see the big difference in the speed where everything's gone? So let's go to my next video here, and this is 5 mind-blowing facts about our cell phones.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
Looking at the big picture of technology, smartphones are so new and have grown so fast that much of the general public hasn't really taken note of what's going on around them. These are the top 5 mind-blowing facts about your smartphone. Let's dive in.
Number 5.
NASA used them as cheap satellites. The smartphone industry has pushed the boundaries of low-cost, high-performance solutions so far that the average smartphone has more computing power and memory than the average satellite. In addition to this, smartphones already have a GPS, multiple accelerometers, motion sensors, radio receivers, and more for well under $1,000. NASA noticed this unique anomaly in modern technology, and in 2009 they created Project PhoneSat. This project is an ongoing experiment that uses smartphones as a satellite's onboard computer. There have been multiple versions launched as newer phones are released. The orbital lifespan is said to be 1 year. It's pretty cool.
Number 4.
Smartphones are the fastest growing industry in history, and today the industry is worth over $300 billion. To really understand just how big that is, we have to compare it to the next closest thing humanity has seen, the PC market. Compared to the PC market, the smartphone industry has been growing at a rate of 4 times the maximum rate of PC growth. In January 2014, for the first time in history, mobile phone internet usage overtook PC internet usage. And that's not all. In the period between 1975 and June 2008, 1 billion PCs were sold. This includes desktops, laptops, servers, and everything combined. In comparison, smartphone sales topped 1 billion in just 2013 alone. The sales have been so rapid that even on YouTube, some smartphone reviewers have been made celebrities in their own right. Smartphones are only getting more popular with low-cost, high-performance options such as the Nexus 5 and Sony Xperia Z Compact. And in addition to this, so-called developing nations are absolutely loving smartphones. India has the fastest growing smartphone market in the world. It's all pretty interesting stuff, and it's really only just been taking off in the last year or so.
Number 3.
Smartphones are actually slowly changing the world. In 2014, mobile traffic is almost 15% of the continent of Africa's data use. In Egypt, 70% of people say they don't even touch desktop or laptops to access the web. They only use mobile. In May 2012, a study from the University of Colorado found that the average person belonging to Generation Y has their phones with them 91% of the day, and they're very likely to use their phones to meet up with each other, settle arguments, or solve unexpected problems. Generation Y and Z, basically my generation, has grown up with the internet, and the smartphone was basically the next logical step. Some say that it's making this generation less social, but that's really up to the individual. In addition to this, smartphones have made colossal dents in the sales of point-and-shoot cameras, camcorders, newspapers, print media in general, netbooks, portable gaming systems, MP3 players, and basically most things you can think of. Now of course, the smartphone wouldn't have been able to do this by itself. It's the smartphone plus the collective knowledge of everyone through the internet that has caused this shift. To really see how integral the internet has become in modern society today, here's an interesting bit of insight. The following clip is from a 2013 BBC documentary that takes a rare look into the university life of North Koreans. I found the following extract to be very interesting.
American lecturer Erin Fink invites me to talk to her students.
Who's heard of Michael Jackson? Put your hand up. Do you know who that is?
No.
Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
No, he's not the president, no. He's
Michael Jackson, he was a very famous singer.
Normally, if you didn't know who someone was, you could just Google it or search it up. Without the internet, this is not an option.
Number 2.
Your smartphone is more powerful than you think. This one will blow your mind. For this fact, we have to go back on a journey through time and space, like we often do on this channel. So, the year is 1946, and on this year, the first ever general-purpose, fully electronic computer was created. Its name was ENIAC. The ENIAC computer took up an entire room and required colossal amounts of energy just to complete 385 calculations per second. Fast forward to last year, so 2013, and the Snapdragon 800 chip, that is not uncommon in most smartphones, can do 28 billion calculations per second. In other words, it would take 72 million ENIAC computers just to make up the power of one smartphone chip. Let's push this fact a little bit further. That's over 2 billion tons of ENIAC computer components, and you don't even want to guess how much space this would take up. All practicality aside, if you could place all of these ENIAC computers back to back and as close as you could possibly get them, all the components together would take up a landmass of how big? Maybe you would guess a football stadium, or maybe a small city. Not even close. To have the equivalent power of one smartphone chip, it would take 11.8 million square kilometers of ENIAC computer components. That's 20% larger than the entire area of the United States of America. And all of that now can fit on your fingernail. It's definitely something to think about.
Number 1.
By definition, your smartphone is a PC. PC is the acronym for personal computer, and the smartphone has come a long way even since 2010. Here, let me show you. This is a stock smartphone running Android. You can plug it into a monitor with a keyboard and mouse, and you can actually do some work with it. Hypothetically, if your desktop computer was inaccessible for one reason or another, maybe it was broken or in repair, you could use your phone to get some actual productivity tasks done, comfortably. And that's not all. Nowadays, if you have an Android phone, you can stick USB sticks in there, and even some hardware things such as fans work. And with that rounds out the top 5 mind-blowing facts about your smartphone. So I understand that this was a whole lot of mind blow to take in just for one video. So let's do a bit of a recap. NASA has used smartphones as low-cost satellites. The smartphone industry is the fastest growing industry in history. Smartphones are changing society. Today's smartphones are over 70 million times faster than the first electronic computer, not to mention that it would take an area 20% larger than the entire USA to have that equivalent power. And lastly, today's smartphone can be used as a PC.
Nova's Rockin' Inc. MC with Madhouse TV present Rockin' Madhouse event in association with CNC Spirits and Wines. Sunday, December 7th. Doors open 5 p.m. The premiere of Mick James at Revolution Music Hall in Amityville, New York, and Club Loaded. Special guest Tang featuring Denny Colt and Bonnie Parker, also featuring Fractured Smile. Come meet alternative model and TV personality Kitty Crystal and Long Island's own Alicia Ray. Also meet the hot woman of Armageddon. Come hang with Ink Master Jay Blondell and the internet's newest social media, Tales of the Tap. Ladies, come get crowned Miss Rocket Inc. MC and appear on shows as co-host. This event will be filmed live and aired on Rockin' Inc. MC on a later date. Advance tickets $12 at clubloaded.com and check rockinincmc.com for other locations.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Back, Rockin' Inc. MC. So, those facts about cell phones, isn't that crazy? The way things are just evolving and moving forward so quickly. You know, so some of the other things, you know, when we have our PCs, and PCs are not really being used no longer. People don't really use their PCs. And the big thing with a PC was viruses, right? People getting viruses. So now our cell phones, the viruses are there, the hackers are there. Right? I have a video, I had to cut it, but I recommend people looking into this a little bit more, but I really want people to know about this. So everybody has a cell phone, and you know you download one of those apps for a flashlight. Well, the flashlight app, let's go to the video, and they're going to tell you all about this really quick.
500 million people are infected and they don't know it. But it's not them, it's their smartphones. We've all installed a flashlight app on our phones. And instead of being a normal flashlight, when you hit the on button, this flashlight app is kind of like a real flashlight from the hardware store, except it was made by Mr. Gadget. And it opens up and it says, Brett, can I have your name, address, credit cards, bank account information, family photos, videos, where you're located right now, and all your friends and contacts, and can I send that out over this little satellite dish attached to the flashlight? The top 10 flashlight apps today are all malware. They're malicious, they're spying, they're snooping, and they're stealing. Not only uninstall it, but you have to factory reset your phone because they install Trojans that when you uninstall some of these flashlight apps, the Trojans are still installed waiting to run and operate in the background while you're doing important things like mobile banking or reading your contacts list and things like that. Just go for a factory reset, which wipes all the hidden data areas where the malicious Trojans are getting installed.
Website?
Snoopwall.com.
Okay. Gary, thanks a lot.
Brett, thank you.
So there you have it. So I would like to, I could do shows just on technology week after week. I work, my day job, I'm in technology. I'm a switch and router guy and communications guy. I've been for 20 years. But it just goes to show you, we just take for granted. These apps are free, and the companies that own these flashlight apps, they're not in the United States. They're not American companies. So think about it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to educate people here. All right? So really think about this. But you got to watch now, your cell phone. You'll find out later that cell phones have taken over. No one really uses a computer no longer. But anyway, let's get to a happier note here. Tonight I will have a model spotlight, and tonight I have Michelle Lee, and she's from Fresno, California, and I want to change it up a little, and I want to get to my model spotlight. So here's Michelle Lee from Fresno, California.
Hi y'all, welcome to Rockin' Ink MC. I'm Michelle Lee. I'm a model and designer here in Fresno, California. I also own an online boutique called Undead Threads with a Z. I create one-of-a-kind pieces like this bikini top I made out of Crown Royal bags. If you want to see pictures of me modeling it, find me on Facebook under Michelle Lee. You can also follow me on Instagram under Undead Threads. I hope you enjoy my photos, and thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a rockin' day.
Nova's Rockin' Ink MC with Madhouse TV present Rockin' Madhouse event in association with CNC Spirits and Wines. Sunday, December 7th, doors open 5 p.m. The premiere of Mick James at Revolution Music Hall in Amityville, New York, and Club Loaded. Special guest Tang featuring Denny Colt and Bonnie Parker, also featuring Fractured Smile. Come meet alternative model and TV personality Kitty Crystal and Long Island's own Alicia Ray. Also meet the hot woman of Armageddon, Come hang with Ink Master Jay Blondell and the internet's newest social media, Tales of the Tap. Ladies, come get crowned Miss Rocket Inc. MC and appear on shows as co-host. This event will be filmed live and aired on Rockin' Inc. MC on a later date. Advance tickets $12 at clubloaded.com and check rockinincmc.com for other locations.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Back, Rockin' Inc. Talk about technology tonight. Look at this. Got new technology behind me. Wow, imagine that. I've been waiting a long time for this. Got to get some Skyping done soon. But anyway, back to the technology. You get to see, actually, we just finished up Michelle Lee, my model spotlight. And I have a lot of model spotlights waiting to be shown. I'm going to get to all these. And next week, actually, I'm going to be doing a special video show, all music video. You know, like MTV was, I'm going to do one of those. I have a lot of great bands I want to show and get out there and get some exposure. But anyway, back to our technology here, talking about technology. Now I want to show you something on futuristic technologies that exist today and in the future. So there's things right now that are available that we didn't think were going to be available, and we saw it back in some movies. You know, we have things, Leap Technologies has Leap Motion. Wait till you see this Leap Motion, and when you see it, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's available now, and it's pretty cheap. Robots have just exploded. You would not believe what a robot could do right now. What we could do, a robot could do the same exact stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. But we're going to talk about 3D printing in this video. 3D print, your regular printer with your paper, forget it. 3D printing, you're going to be making your own cases. You're going to be making your own stuff for yourself in your own house. And it's cheap. You could buy a printer now and you can get it done. But let's go to this new video here from Cold Fusion. This one's a long one. Very, very interesting. Be back.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
Welcome to another episode of Cold Fusion TV. What do you think the future will be like? That seems like a childish question immediately after its proposition, but I want you to seriously think about it for a second. What new exciting technologies wait for us just around the corner? What if I told you some of what you thought could only be science fiction existed today? And yes, that thing on the right is an experimental robot. Okay, so we all know that there's technology like Google Glass, which everybody knows about. But what about some of the others? Today, we'll be taking a look at the top 5 technologies that may show a sign of things to come. Let's kick it off with a brand new way of interacting with your computer by Leap Technology.
Number 5.
You may remember some scenes from the 2002 film Minority Report, where Tom Cruise performs gestures in the air to navigate around a computer interface. Well, at the end of 2013, this technology arrived in an affordable package, and they're calling it Leap Motion. So what's Leap Motion all about? Let's hear a bit from the manufacturers themselves.
I'm David Holes, I'm the CTO at Leap Motion. We're making next generation 3D motion sensing device. At some point it's no longer gestures, it's like you have this object and it's in your hands and you're able to manipulate it in very subtle ways. That's sort of very intuitive in the back of your mind instead of something that you're thinking about like, okay, what drop down menu do I do? How do I engage rotate mode? Okay, let me pivot here and do this thing, and it ends up becoming it's really interesting.
You would think technology like this would cost an arm and a leg, but it's actually available in store for $79.99. That's crazy. On the topic of alternative human-computer interaction, this video would not be complete without mentioning Oculus Rift. Oculus Rift is a virtual reality gaming headset, very similar to the old Nintendo Virtual Boy, released in 1995. Except the Oculus Rift doesn't make your eyes bleed. The Oculus Rift is often cited as one of the best virtual gaming experiences available today.
Number 4.
Okay, so let's change things up a bit with the field of robotics. For years, humans have dreamed of domestic robotic technology to aid our everyday lives. They were the stuff of science fiction, and still largely are, but we've come a long way in recent years. In 2008, Boston Dynamics shocked the world with Big Dog. It was the first time an unassisted robot performed so well in 100% natural conditions. Big Dog was built in 2005 by Boston Dynamics, NASA, and the Harvard University. Thanks to the year 2005, Big Dog's brain was a Pentium 4. The brain of Big Dog senses where its limbs are and corrects the robot's motion thousands of times a second. To give you some context, the Pentium 4 is about 8.4 times slower than a modern-day smartphone. Next from Boston Dynamics came Wildcat, a machine able to run at 30 km per hour. For comparison, the world's fastest human being, Usain Bolt, clocks in at 44.72 km an hour. So 30 km an hour is a pretty decent sprinting speed. Boston Dynamics wasn't done yet. In 2013, they released Atlas, a humanoid robot. And this one is pretty impressive. Here we see it walking upstairs, and you think that should be pretty easy, right? but if you talk to any mechatronics engineer, they'll tell you otherwise. As you can see here, the stairs are the #1 enemy for robots. In late 2013, Google acquired Boston Dynamics. Long gone are the search engine days, people. I really wonder what Google's going to do with all of this technology. So it's not quite iRobot, but it's better than our past attempts, and it'll be pretty cool to see what happens in the next few years.
Number 3.
This next one is straight out of a Hollywood movie. It's a worldwide 100% digital peer-to-peer currency, a new economy that isn't controlled by the government or a central bank. They call it Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created back in 2009, and it's slowly catching on. In 2013, Congress approved the currency, making it a legitimate payment method. Bitcoins can be obtained in two ways, either from your local currency exchanges or by mining. Mining is basically using your computer hardware to solve a very complex equation. Once it's solved, you'll be rewarded with Bitcoins. Some people have taken mining to the extreme.
Currently running 85870s and 45850s. This rig here is pulling about 5 gigahashes.
There are some downsides though. Bitcoin economy is highly volatile, and in their lifetime, they've gone from just over $4 a coin to over $1,000 a coin. There's also the dark web. Since Bitcoins are digital and untraceable, some users have used them to buy illegal goods and services from the dark web. Dark corners of the internet have always existed, but the dark web is something different, and it can only be accessed through Tor technology. Tor was developed by the US Naval Research Laboratory, so there's pretty much no way to track down an IP address. In 2013, the FBI shut down one such dark website, Silk Road, and seized over $28 million worth of Bitcoin. On Reddit, there were stories of people fearing for their lives because they owed people hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bitcoins that they would never get back. There have also been digital robberies, or heists, which have caused some digital chases through many countries in search of the thief. Whether Bitcoins are here to stay, or will eventually subside due to their controversy, is a story for another day. It's all some pretty interesting stuff so far. Anyway, we'll take a break, and then we'll be back shortly after this.
Worried about dry skin? Concerned about lines and wrinkles? Then visit a burns unit and get some perspective.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
Welcome back. Let's round out the top 5 future technologies that exist today.
Number 2.
There's been a growing trend over the last few years, the trend of 3D printing. The technology behind 3D printing has existed for many years, but that being said, it's only been made available to the public this decade. To explain it simply, 3D printing is a process of making a three-dimensional object of virtually any shape from a digital model.
So you can import a model and it can detect where there are overhangs and generate smart support structures that go up to it. So then when you print it off, the thing comes off on this little pin bed, it kind of looks like, and then you can just snap it off and it feels like you're peeling it off of a piece of Velcro.
3D printing is achieved using an additive process, where successive layers of material are laid down in different shapes. 3D printing can create objects that would be too expensive or impossible to create using conventional methods. Basically, if you can create a model on your computer, you can print it. The applications are almost endless, and this very well may be the next big industry in the 2020s. Before we rush on to number 1, I just want you to take a look at a few 3D printed objects from 3D printers that you can buy right now.
Number 1.
If there's anything that can change the world on a truly global scale, it's Bloom Energy. If everything goes to plan, of course. The story of Bloom Energy and its Bloom Box is actually pretty interesting, and we'll be hearing a bit from its founder, K.R. Schreider. I would seriously say that you should keep an eye on this kind of technology in the future.
What could this power?
This could power a U.S. home. Average United
entire
States
house?
home. Entire house, 24/7, 365.
Something that small?
This is a European home. The two put together is a U.S. home. It is real. It works.
He says he knows it works because he originally invented a similar device for NASA.
We know how to produce oxygen on Mars.
So this was going to produce oxygen so people could actually live on Mars.
Absolutely.
When NASA scrapped that Mars mission, KR had an idea. He reversed his Mars machine, so instead of making oxygen, he pumped oxygen in. He invented a new kind of fuel cell, which is like a very skinny battery that always runs. KR feeds oxygen to it on one side and fuel on the other. The two combine within the cell to create a chemical reaction that produces electricity. No need for burning or combustion. No need for power lines from an outside source. In October 2001, he managed to get a meeting with John Doerr. John Doerr has certainly changed our world. He's the one who discovered and funded Netscape, Amazon, and Google.
The new energy technologies could be the largest economic opportunity of the 21st century.
One disk powers one light bulb. The taller the stack of disks, the more power it generates. How are we supposed to know whether what you're saying is true?
Why didn't we talk to our first customers?
He already has customers. 20 large, well-known companies have quietly bought and are testing Bloom boxes in California.
Anyway, you get the idea. The news report goes on to say that these Bloom boxes were being used by companies such as FedEx and Google. I would have written this off as one of those crazy internet stories with a crazy nutter if you didn't have customers who are such powerful investors. So the number one spot does go to Bloom Energy. It truly could change our world. Now we're pretty much done with the video, but it wouldn't be complete without mentioning the Google driverless car, so that's a bonus entry. The driverless cars have been trundling around since 2012 and have completed 500,000 kilometers or 300,000 miles of driving accident-free. So there you have it, our world is changing very fast, and I sincerely hope that as we move forward, we use all of these technologies only to benefit humanity as a whole. So this has been Cold Fusion, and like a bad drummer, we're completely out of time. Thank you guys so much for watching the whole way through, and don't forget to like and share this video if you found it interesting.
Cold Fusion. It's new thinking.
Nova's Rockin' Inc. MC with Madhouse TV present Rockin' Madhouse event in association with CNC Spirits and Wines. Sunday, December 7th, doors open 5 p.m. The premiere of Mick James at Revolution Music Hall in Amityville, New York, and Club Loaded. Special guest Tang featuring Denny Colt and Bonnie Parker, also featuring Fractured Smile. Come meet alternative model and TV personality Kitty Crystal and Long Island's own Alicia Ray. Also meet the hot woman of Armageddon. Come hang with Ink Master Jay Blondell and the internet's newest social media, Tales of the Tap. Ladies, come get crowned Miss Rocket Inc. MC and appear on shows as co-host. This event will be filmed live and aired on Rockin' Inc. MC on a later date. Advance tickets $12 at clubloaded.com and check rockinincmc.com for other locations.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
This is Beth.
Hi.
Oh, congratulations. When are you due?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, look at that. Excuse me.
You're totally thin.
You look very sexy.
For life's bleachable moments, all it takes is 3/4 of a cup.
Back, Rockin' Ink MC. All right, so really interesting, right? This technology, how it's taken over our lives, and what our kids are learning, what we've learned. You know, all I know, 20 years from now, I'm going to be that grandfather, hopefully, just sitting back, watching this earth just dissipate. And family life is going away. It's like, you know, it's like the way something should be or should have been and where it went, right? So if you think about, you know, if you didn't have your cell phone, you know, the things that could have been, right? So I'm going to show you one right now about society and how things like this changed. So let's go to this video and you'll see how it changes your family life.
I have 422 friends, yet I'm lonely. I speak to all of them every day, yet none of them really know me. The problem I have sits in the spaces between looking into their eyes or at a name on a screen. I took a step back and opened my eyes. I looked around and realised that this media we call social is anything but when we open our computers and it's our doors we shut. All this technology we have, it's just an illusion. Community, companionship, a sense of inclusion. Yet when you step away from this device of delusion, you awaken to see a world of confusion. A world where we're slaves to the technology we mastered, where information gets sold by some rich, greedy bastard. A world of self-interest, self-image, self-promotion, where we all share our best bits but leave out the emotion. We're at our most happy with an experience we share, but is it the same if no one is there? Be there for your friends and they'll be there too, but no one will be if a group message will do. We edit and exaggerate, crave adulation. We pretend not to notice the social isolation. We put our words into order until our lives are glistening. We don't even know if anyone is listening. Being alone isn't the problem. Let me just emphasise, if you read a book, paint a picture, or do some exercise, you're being productive and present, not reserved and recluse. You're being awake and attentive and putting your time to good use. So when you're in public and you start to feel alone, put your hands behind your head, step away from the phone. You don't need to stare at your menu or at your contact list. Just talk to one another. Learn to coexist. I can't stand to hear the silence of a busy commuter train where no one wants to talk through the fear of looking insane. We're becoming unsocial. It no longer satisfies to engage with one another and look into someone's eyes. We're surrounded by children who, since they were born, have watched us living like robots and think it's the norm. It's not very likely you'll make world's greatest dad if you can't entertain a child without using an iPad. When I was a child, I'd never be home. Be out with my friends on our bikes, we would roam. I'd wear holes in my trainers and graze up my knees. We'd build our own clubhouse high up in the trees. Now the park's so quiet it gives me a chill. See no children outside and the swings hanging still. There's no skipping, no hopscotch, no church and no steeple. We're a generation of idiots, smartphones and dumb people. So look up from your phone, shut down the display. Take in your surroundings, make the most of today. Just one real connection is all it can take. to show you the difference that being there can make. Be there in the moment that she gives you the look that you remember forever as when love overtook. The time she first holds your hand or first kiss your lips. The time you first disagree but still love her to bits. The time you don't have to tell hundreds of what you've just done because you want to share this moment with just this one. The time you'll sell your computer so you can buy a ring for the girl of your dreams who is now the real thing. The time you want to start a family, and the moment when you first hold your little girl and get to fall in love again. The time she keeps you up at night and all you want is rest, and the time you wipe away the tears as your baby flees the nest. The time your baby girl returns with a boy for you to hold, and the time he calls you granddad and makes you feel real old. The time you take in all you've made just by giving life attention, and how you're glad you didn't waste it by looking down at some invention. The time you hold your wife's hand, sit down beside her bed, you tell her that you love her, lay a kiss upon her head. She then whispers to you quietly, as her heart gives a final beat, that she's lucky she got stopped by that lost boy in the street. But none of these times ever happened. You never had any of this. When you're too busy looking down, you don't see the chances you miss. So look up from your phone, shut down those displays. We have a finite existence, a set number of days. Don't waste your life getting caught in the net, as when the end comes, nothing's worse than regret. I am guilty too of being part of this machine, this digital world we are heard but not seen, where we type as we talk and we read as we chat, where we spend hours together without making eye contact. So don't give in to a life where you follow the hype. Give people your love, don't give them your like. Disconnect from the need to be heard and defined. Go out into the world, leave distractions behind. Look up from your phone, shut down that display. Stop watching this video, live life the real way.
We're back. That great, so think about that, sit with your kids, watch TV, get them off the gadgets, enjoy life. We're ruining ourselves here. But I'm out of time, but let's go to Ray Starr from Northern California, and I'll see you guys next week. Rockin' Inc. MC.
Welcome to Rockin' Inc. MC. I am Ray Starr, and I'd like to thank Reverb Nation for the opportunity to be featured on Rockin' Inc. MC's Video Spotlight. This is my video, Feel It.
Round and round, that's all she knows. Play the part of being used. The more she has, the more I show. I wanna be abused by you. Her body's like an undertow. You're drowning everything in me. The way she moves, the way she knows everything I need.